go. It's the sports outlet with Key Touch. Only the best of the best. I attest. And we are bringing you professionals, former, but today we have a current professional football player. So let me introduce my guest today. We have my co-host, Coach Kenny
That's
Gray.
right. Here we go. Let's go. All
And
right.
we have Brevin Easton, professional football player. Coach, the value of having you on the sports outlet with Key Touch is
Mm.
your decades of coaching. You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
seen young men grow, young boys grow to men, like the boys to
Yes.
men, right? And it is just so
Exactly.
awesome that you were able to give us this special guest who you have known. So take it away, Coach Kenny Gray.
Well, let me say this to you. It's always a pleasure each and every weekend to come and talk sports of any magnitude. But when you talk about discovering a diamond and
Mm.
you wasn't looking for a diamond and it was delivered to you, this young
Oh,
man, the father I've known for, the family I've known for years, but this kid came to me and the father came to me and said, I need you to train a couple of my sons. And this happened to be one of them. One was a receiver, one was a quarterback. But when I saw this kid catch, I looked at the father, said, this kid's not 13 years old. This kid's a pro. There's an age and then there's a thing. He had the thing, and that was called it. He's a pro.
he said it was called it. And that
It.
is just amazing to say. So, Brevin, tell us, how old were you when you started playing football?
I started playing when I was 7 years old.
Mhm.
Wow, 7 years old. And Coach Kenny Gray met you when you were 13. And Coach,
Mhm.
when you met him, he had been playing for 6 years. You
Yeah,
know,
that youth ball. I don't coach youth. I was preparing him to go into the high school at that time. I think he may have had one more year of youth ball, but we were really looking at the high school level for him. And man, when I saw him, I wish I was the coach to coach this kid. But during the summer, I had him. We were able to go out on the field, work. I mean, really work our behinds off, route running, catching, and everything that I did. I mean, he finished it all on a high level. And I was throwing an adult ball. I wasn't doing a kid ball. I was doing an adult ball. So he was catching an adult ball at 13 years old.
so Coach, when you first started throwing to him, you were testing him a little bit, right? And then you
Oh
start
man,
putting a little more on it, right?
I wasn't just testing him. I was thinking you got to get this wrong because you only teach when you can't get it right. But if you already
Mm,
have it, what is there to teach? And my thing was, what level was he really on? And
mm.
man, whoo, there were times where I grinded him and he was tired, but I knew what level that I pushed him at because it was extensive. It wasn't that small level. I mean, we grind. There was no rest. 20 balls in a row catching it. And that's what it was about. Because I needed to see the breaking point.
Yeah, and one thing I would say, like on a personal standpoint, that I'm grateful and blessed to have Coach in my corner, and for him to kind of discover me is just, he put a lot of confidence into myself. Like after one of our first workouts, he was saying, "You're a pro, you can do this," and different things like that. So I never forgot about that, and I always use that to like push myself to like, hey, I know what I'm capable of. People have seen it before, and just right before high school. So it was when I was in eighth grade. So I was just looking forward to getting playing varsity and stuff like that. He put that into my head, like, hey, you could be a varsity player right now.
Right
I didn't
now.
think like that. I was an eighth grader. So, I'm
Yeah.
just blessed. And, it was a lot of hard work and a lot of workouts with coach, but I'm so grateful for it. And it definitely paid off.
And that's a
Mhm.
wonderful thing. That is a wonderful thing because so many people don't understand the discipline it takes, and not just with sports, but anything to truly excel at the highest level. Brevin, tell
Right.
us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up, man?
I grew up in Odenton, Maryland. I've been here pretty much like my whole life. And so after high school, I went to Massachusetts, and I went to upstate New York. Then I got a couple of opportunities to play pro down in Florida and then in Canada. And then this past summer, I was just overseas in Europe playing. So this game has taken me everywhere. But yeah, I'm from Odenton. So super blessed for sure to get to go everywhere I've gone.
All right, Odenton, Maryland. Maryland has a lot of professional athletes that come out of Maryland. Odenton, for those of you who don't know, is closer to Baltimore area. Awesome, Brevin. So tell us a little bit about your pro career. You kind of touched on it. Let's talk about your time in Florida.
Yeah, so thankfully, and I was blessed, a lot of hard work, but I was blessed to get to go down and get some good weather, not being this cold. But I was on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I was an undrafted free agent in 2024. I ended up getting cut after training camp. I played in a couple preseason games. It was a great experience, like a dream come true to a certain extent. Obviously it's a lot of hard work. Once you get to the pinnacle, the work doesn't stop there. You got to keep working even harder to stay there. So now I'm just, I'm on a journey to try to get back there. I also got to go to Canada. I played in the CFL for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and then uh, last summer around June, July, I was able to go out to Frankfurt to play for the Frankfurt Galaxy, and I just re-signed with them the other day. So I'm going to be going back out there this April.
Oh, cool. Frankfurt, Germany, man. I spent 2 years in not in Frankfurt, but in Germany. I was in Heidelberg.
Heidelberg, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I flew into
awesome.
Frankfurt, Maine. I know where you've been. I know where you are.
Oh yeah,
you talking
it's
about
awesome
cold
over there, man.
Oh,
I never.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully in the summertime, so it's kind of a crazy story, like how I even got to get over there. I could tell you guys a bunch of different stories, whichever ones we really want to get to, but this one I feel like I gotta share. So obviously, once you make it to the NFL, like you gotta stay there. It's another fight, another battle and journey to stay there. I ended up getting cut, being on the other side of that, and then bouncing around to different teams and different things. But the one thing that you don't really realize is you got to stay ready. Being a pro is like a nonstop thing. So you never know when you'll get your opportunity. So that's one thing that anybody that wants to be a professional, like that's what you're signing up for. So I had gotten cut again from a Canadian football team, and wasn't really getting too many calls. Just on social media, looking at everybody else playing football, I was kind of jealous. And I was talking to my brother one day. I'm like, hey, like, when am I going to get a shot? And then lucky enough for me, like 10, 15 minutes later, somebody called me like, hey, do you want to still play football? It's in Germany, though, but you can play in a game this Sunday. And it was already Wednesday. So
Wow.
I was working at a car dealership for like a month, just still working out on the side and just trying to pay my bills, stuff like that. And I was just blessed with the opportunity. I never would have saw myself going out there to play, but I'm so thankful that I did. Just on the field, getting that experience, then off the field, seeing a different part of the world and all those good things. It was definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
Again, Brevin Easton here on the Sports Outlet with Key Touch. We are talking to a pro. He's played for the Jacksonville Jaguars here in the U.S., and he has played abroad. He's played in Canada, and now he is playing in Frankfurt, Germany. And, Coach, I got to throw it to you. Let's speak about the expansion of American football, because I lived in Germany for 2 years. I know how everyone else feels about soccer, their football.
Yeah,
And this is
absolutely.
amazing that it's over there. Talk about that a little bit, Coach.
Well, when you talk about American football, it's a business first, right? These young men, they don't see the business aspect because they want to play. The business will come later for them. For them, it's about, training, staying ready for that call, like Brevin said. But then it's the other people who are, paying the bills and writing the checks and figuring out where we can go international. So last year they have more international games last year. I think it was 8 games that was overseas this year in an 18-game season, right? So you had maybe about 3 or 4 teams. I think at one weekend it was 2 or 3 teams, 4 or 6 teams overseas in that same weekend. So what's happening is it is becoming a universal sport, like baseball. It's a universal sport. Soccer, a universal sport. Basketball, a universal sport. But what happens is you're talking about the torque on the body, the impact on this and this physically. It's hard to balance that. So I don't know if we have enough of them going around to sustain a year-round thing. But because he got a call in Canada, and then the same year Germany, that's the universal side. That's the international footprint. So I think it's good for the game, for those who are not on their 53-man roster. And I think what do you have on the practice squad, Brevin? Maybe about 8 or 9 on the practice squad.
It's 14 practice squad spots.
14. So if you take that 53 and 14, right, it's still not a lot of bodies, right? It really isn't. But when you can go overseas and you can go to Canada and play, that means the game is, you haven't lost the game, and the game is not, hasn't stopped for that individual. And that's why he said he's trying to make his way back to the league. And I think it's great for the international.
One thing I would add too about like the international aspect of it all is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their owner Shad Khan, he's from I believe Pakistan or somewhere in the Middle East.
Yes, he is.
He has like a huge footprint in like is for running like the whole international thing with the Jaguars hosting 2 home games in London every year. That's how I was even able to do any of this stuff, is because they got me my passport. That's like one of the first things that they do. Not every NFL team does that, but the Jaguars, it's like a staple. Like, hey, we're doing our London trip. Everybody in the organization goes, unless you get cut, of course. But so yeah, I got my passport from them. I'm blessed. I'm gonna probably keep using it. So I'll be leaving in April. That's when our training camp in Frankfurt, Germany starts. We're gonna be playing in the European Football Alliance. It's a new league off of the European League of Football, which has folded this year. But no, like, for me on the outside looking in, like, I didn't have too much experience or knowledge about football or professional football over there. But if you go to Frankfurt, obviously soccer is the #1 sport, but there's like a whole niche, and like it's almost like a little bit of a college vibe to it, to where like fans are messaging me every day like, hey, are you coming back? We love you. Like, can we get a picture with you? Can I get your autograph? I'll run into people in public and stuff like that. So it was really a good gig. Everything that I could have imagined or asked for, just in terms of having the opportunity, and just to keep playing.
Well, let me ask you this question real quick. This question. A lot of times when Americans come over, there's a limited amount of Americans on that team. Is that still the same case with Germany, or is it predominantly American football players playing the American football sport?
Yeah, so that's something else that I had to learn as I got there. So each team is only, so they're called imports. There's an American import, a European import, or global import, and then there's homegrowns, meaning that they started playing football in that team's country, like in their national home. So each team gets 4 American imports on like a total of a 60-man roster. So one of those spots has to be quarterback. Another spot is usually a wide receiver like myself, maybe a running back. Well, let me put it like this. There's 2 on offense and 2 on defense. So one spot is quarterback. One spot is going to be wide receiver, most likely. And then on defense, most teams will have 2 defensive backs. And then there's about 6 European imports. So like maybe some on Frankfurt, like one of my teammates, he's like the best linebacker from the UK. So he's in a European import. So there's, I believe there's 6 European imports, 4 American. Then there's like 1 global import, meaning like they can come from like either Canada or Mexico or Japan, like other places that play football, American football as well. So it's super, super competitive. Like, me looking at it from the outside, and you wouldn't see that, you wouldn't know that. But in my league, there's 8 teams. There's only 8 American receivers in the whole world that get to play this spot. So that
Let me add this fun fact real quick. So since we're talking about the European Football Alliance, it's a professional American football league based in Europe. plays his first season, 2026. Teams are located in Austria, Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and the United Kingdom. This is big. Just want to get this out. Brevin, you are part of history, man.
Yeah.
Brevin Easton, a part of history here on the Sports Outlet with Key Touch, Coach Kenny Gray.
Yes.
Coach, I know you wanted to say something, but I want to circle back before we get too far away from what Brevin said about social media and the fans.
Right.
I just wanted to know, how is that when you have social media? How is that in your overseas, you're in a different country? How does that make you feel, being able to communicate that way with your new fans?
Mm-hmm.
Technology.
So it's for me, I like to say I'm lucky because like I'm in Frankfurt, which is like if you ask anybody over there from Germany, at least they'll be like, oh, that's like basically the closest thing you'll get to America here. So pretty much everybody there for the most part speaks English pretty good too, like a lot better than I could try to speak German or any other language. So that's always like a plus. So like our games, they're broadcasted in English, like the announcers are talking in English, like people, I mean, of course, like their main language is German, so like they'll have an accent, stuff like that. But I mean, it's really the same, like honestly, from what I've experienced, I feel like I've gotten more love over there because I'm almost a like a hot commodity, if you will. Like I'm their version of like a Stephon Diggs or Odell Beckham Jr. to a certain extent because nobody else here has played in the NFL or has that experience or has that on their resume. And not to say that they idolize American culture, but they kind of
They
look
do.
at American culture in a certain aspect. Some people. But yeah, no, the fans there are great. They love me a lot. Like I have to take tons of pictures and autographs, give away my gloves and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's real sweet and awesome. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah. Well, the thing Key Touch, you had mentioned it, the history part, right? Because when you say only 8 Americans, do you know how many Americans are still trying to play football anywhere? And you're one of the 8, right? That's in that rule. That's huge. But then you're looking at the other side. You are an American pro. You were already part and signed on a American football team as a free agent. That you will always have that on your resume. You will always be a pro. So they see that and they know that, and some people don't have that on your resume. So that makes you a little special because they want to know, Trevor Lawrence and such and such, and because you know some stuff that they don't know. And and again,
absolutely.
yeah, and again, whoo, man, you love the game. I know you do. When I first met you, I'm thinking this kid loves this game. To show up in the heat, to show up, not with the right shoes all the time, right? Oh my God, he's showing up. That's called sacrifice. So everything you're doing right now, you deserve to be a professional athlete.
And coach, like I was saying in the beginning, like you instilled a lot of confidence in myself. I mean, obviously you could probably say it to anybody or, it might not resonate with them, but you telling me, I specifically remember it. And I remember my dad. And after that saying like, yeah, that boy's going to be a pro. He's going to be an NFL wide receiver already. Like me knowing that, like I felt that a little bit. I knew that's what my goal was, but sometimes it's, not everybody has it up here. Like it's mental for the most part. Like you have to have confidence. You have to believe in yourself. Even when people don't believe in you or doubt you, you can't doubt yourself. So that'd be one thing I'll tell everybody that is aspiring, like my journey, it wasn't just straight taking off, it's still going up and down like a roller coaster. Like I said, this is what I signed up for. So just
Right.
keeping that in mind, you just got to work hard and you got to have the right people around you. Coach has been my consultant / trainer for almost 10 plus years now. So you got to have a team and people that want you to succeed around you and, and just stay prayed up and just do the right thing.
So real quick, everyone, if you want to follow Brevin Easton, because, he's going to be abroad real soon, BREVO 10, the letter X. Again, BREVO 10, the letter X, and that's on the gram. And if you want to follow Coach Kenny Gray, that is the Coach Kenny Gray, and that is Gray for Gray on IG. The
Yes.
Coach Kenny Gray on IG. And for me, it is DJ Key Touch, and that's DJKEI Touch. All right. This is so inspiring. Brevin, how old are you?
I'm 25. I just turned 25.
25 years old, and you've been playing this game since 7.
Yep.
And it's been an uphill, like you said, an uphill thing, and it's a roller coaster at times. But
Absolutely.
Your love and your passion and your discipline at 25, this is commendable, and everything you've accomplished. I just want to applaud you for the hard work you've put in, the discipline you've put in, because it takes a lot to be able to do that and take all of those hits on your body. You're a wide receiver. I already know what you go through, and at such a young age. People don't understand that. I didn't play football, of course, but I was in the United States Army. So I understand how your body can get beat up at a young age and you're still pushing through. So I just wanted to tip my hat off to you, because I know it takes a lot of discipline. It takes mind over matter. And like you said, you got cut from the Jaguars, but you're still moving, still training, and still ready for those opportunities. A lot of people would have quit. Their egos would have been shot. It would have gotten in the way. Speak a little bit about your mindset and how you just keep persevering, man.
I want to say thank you for your service, and I really appreciate those words. And like, if I could be quite honest with you, I feel like my journey, like, and where I'm going, I feel like I'm just getting started. Like, I don't necessarily, I mean, yeah, I've been on like this long roller coaster path, and whether it's with football or whatever it may be, I feel like I know I'm going to be successful. That's the kind of mindset and attitude that I try to have every single day. In terms of like football, and like, once you get to this level, like, they really don't care. Like, you could have got cut and not been on a team for 6 7 months. If you get the opportunity to be there and to try out, to showcase what you can do, it's not, none of that matters. You got to be able to perform and be ready. So the saying is, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But yeah, it's hard mentally and physically when you're so used to being in like a structured environment, from high school to college and then in the pros, and you get everything that you want handed to you, and people wash your clothes for you and give you all this free stuff and pat you on the back, and then you get cut. It's hard for, I understand why some people may hang it up after that or get a regular job. It's hard. You got to stay dedicated, stay motivated. A lot of the times I see people, I try not to compare myself, but I see other people who like, I know I'm better than this guy, but he's getting an opportunity that I feel like I could easily have earned too. But for me, like, I just know that, hey, like, if this is happening, that's a good sign. That means if he's doing it, that means I can too. That means my turn is coming up next. So, it's hard. It's hard for sure. Like, not being on a team, watching other people play, and that you can, but at the same time, it's just a part of the journey. You just gotta take what you can from it and just keep trying to get better each and every day.
And there's an extension to what he just said is what I said. This kid is a pro. Now, what he just did is he's explained what a pro is. I knew he could play that game on that level, but and I didn't know is what he just explained. That's part of being a pro, right? The ups, the downs, the catering, and then there's nothing there. I hear so many of those stories from our NFL PA players that I've met along the way. John Booty was the first one. He was on our show early on in the year. One of the first ones we did to hear Key Touch. He said it to me. He signed a 3-year contract with the Eagles, and the next day they were looking for his replacement. That's the professional ranks. That's why I'm so glad that you, because you now have a story that most people have yet to experience, but they want to be a pro. You better be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, for sure. I try to tell like all of my old teammates, like, what was it like? What was it like being in there and doing this? And was it really that hard? Like I would say, like actually, it's not so hard, but it's like hard. You got to do what you're supposed to do every single time. Like all the little stuff that, like coach may have told me when I was 13. Like all that stuff still applies when you get to the highest level. It's just more amplified, and then they
Yeah.
look at more details of it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's a lot that goes into it, of course. But I feel like if that's your goal, like keep striving for it. Keep going. Don't let anybody, like if they doubt you or tell you something you don't want to hear, use it as motivation. That's what I try to do.
That's very well said.
Yeah.
Brevin Easton, and that's why you're a professional football player, has played in multiple countries. Just that experience alone is incredible. It's an experience of a lifetime, and you just turned 25. And the trials you went through has built character. It has
Yes.
helped you build character,
Yes.
and that's always great. So I really commend you. This is such a positive story of endurance
Hmm.
and believing in yourself, having that strong mindset. And like Brevin said, coach, he said, I'm just getting started in my
Let's get
mind. I know
started.
I picked up that ball at
Just getting
7 years
started.
old, but I'm
Well,
just getting started. Go ahead, coach.
let me say, at 26 years old, I gave up. I stopped playing football at 26 years old. The last time I had on helmet and shoulder pads, I was 26 years old. I tried out for a pro camp in Pennsylvania for a whole week. I didn't get signed. I don't talk about that much, but if I had gotten signed, then I would be telling you the other side. I retired at 26 years old. There was a super scout. The father, the son name was Jason Garrett. He played for the Dallas Cowboys, and he was head coach of Dallas Cowboys. His father told us at 26 years old, most of these guys are retiring right now. That was in 1990. You're only 1 year away from when I retired from playing this game. But here's the thing, the game today is different. The longevity. So you're just getting started at 25. I'm retiring at 26. Right? And that's the beauty of this game, being as majestic as it is. It's a really amazing.
I'll try to tell like a quick story real quick that has something to do with that. So when I was in high school, I got recruited. I got some Division 1 offers, but by the time it was time to sign and go to actually get ready to go to college, I didn't have any of these Division 1 offers. I only had Division 2 schools and stuff like that, which is a great opportunity. You get to have a free education and play football still. But being an
Mhm.
18, 19, 18-year-old kid, you don't really look at it like that. Your dream is to
Right.
go to the biggest school and
Yep.
all that good stuff. But my family, they asked me like, how long do you even want to play football? Like, what's your goal? Like, why are you doing this? I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, I want to go to a junior college, because when I go to this junior college, I can get this film, and then I can go to University of Maryland or Alabama, something cool like that. They where they raised me, and how their look on it was like, hey, we want our son to go to college and to get his education. That was their main thing. So I was like, hey, like football, like I want to go to the NFL. That's my main goal. Like ideally, I want to be playing until I'm 30. So that's always been like my goal, is to try to make it to 30. Like there's tons of dudes that I've played with that are still doing it. Um, I feel like that's just, just always been my goal since I was in high school. I was like, all right, I'm 18. I want to go at least 12 more years. That's what I thought. That's what I said. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm blessed enough to do that. Just gotta
Well,
take
we
care of my
wish,
body.
yeah, take care of your body. Make sure you're doing plenty of stretches. Stretch yourself
Mhm.
out.
And whirlpool, sit in that tub. That's right, man. One
Yes.
body.
So
Yeah.
so tell us when your season kicks off when?
The first game isn't set yet, but it will be either May 16th or 17th. So about like the second week of May.
Okay, and you're heading over there in April?
Yep, right after Easter.
Okay, and how long does the season last?
So our games start in May, and then the championship is not until September. So I'll be gone for about 5 to 6 months.
Okay, okay. Robin, we have so enjoyed having you on the sports outlet. Just commend all the great work you have done and what you continue to do. And like you told us, you're just getting started.
It's getting
You're
started.
working your way back, but we're just proud of all the great things you're doing. Keep that positive attitude. Keep
Yep.
that mindset. Keep that.
Yep.
You've inspired me, Brevin. Coach?
Oh yeah.
I'm super proud of him, and I tell him all the time, and I stay out of his way. See, sometimes some people try to, what you doing, what you doing. No, the last thing this guy needs is for people to latch on to him. So the silence, that's his time. We rekindle when because we haven't talked in almost 2 years, right? But he knows I'm out here. Anytime he needs me, I'm right here.
Yes. Brevin, again, thank you so much for joining us. And we wish you a great winning season, championship winning season over there with the Frankfurt Galaxies.
And we will be
Yes, it
there.
was such
We are
a
coming. We have programs that will be coming to Germany, and you're going to be a part of it. So we're coming to Germany.
I can't
Yes.
wait. Thank you guys so much. It was such a pleasure to be on here,
Yes,
and I
sir.
really appreciate the platform and giving me the chance to speak. And thank you guys so much.
Yep,
No,
thank
we
you.
appreciate you. Thank you, Brevin.